What's up, everyone? Today we're going to be going over what's up with the Plymouth Satellite and how, we're going to tackle this behemoth of a car. Now, it looks worse than it actually is. I promise you, it's not too bad. The biggest glaring issue, of course, is the cross member for the torsion bars, which we have a brand new one sitting right there. And when I bought it, Rock Auto had a picture of it just like this. Now, be very wary, because you couldn't tell, or I couldn't tell, that this goes up inside the actual transmission tunnel. So that's going to be a big issue. Also, the overall shape of this thing, not even close to what's in here. If you actually look at this, there's, in this car over here, it kind of goes up, so it has a totally different geometry to it, and the cross member goes under the transmission, not over. And if you look underneath, you can see totally different shape going all the way across. So I already processed the return with Rock Auto. Very disappointed. This was the only option they had, and like I said, they had it top down, so you couldn't see that it was the wrong shape. Not to mention it came completely beat up. So not too particularly thrilled, and that's kind of becoming a trend with Rock Auto, so kind of heads up on that. As far as everything else goes, let's walk around to the back. Oh, first, I spent a good 2 hours trying to get this door open. I've put penetrant oil now. The locking mechanism is stuck in the lock position, so I haven't really figured out how I'm going to get this door off. Worst case scenario, we may have to go find another door and then remove this door forcefully, very, very forcefully, but without damaging the rest of the car. If we go to the trunk is actually in pretty decent shape for this area, even in like the Jersey area. The rust isn't really too bad until you get about halfway across, and then it gets pretty bad. So it might have been at like an angle or something which allowed water to pool over on this side, but it doesn't transition over to the quarter panel, so it's just a matter of replacing a portion, not the whole thing, but a portion of the rear trunk pan. But when we move to the front, oh, and I found two more build sheets. So with the three of them and various conditions, I should be able to create a brand new broadcast sheet with all of the numbers and everything, so that we have a readable piece. So I will look for a copy of it that I can print off online, and I'll just have to handwrite it, which doesn't really bother me. It's just for my own, just for myself. Now we have these two sections, these floor pans, that will have to be patched. Well, this one will have to be patched, that one will be replaced. It will go all the way up to right around here, and we'll just weld it in, and then we'll just put the body sealer back in, just like they did from the factory. This one will probably just, I'll see how I feel about it. We might go all the way back and just cut it out like that on both sides and just weld in this, because this whole back here is fine. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. Now, if we move to the front, it's a totally different story. I did manage to get the giant sheet of tin that was there. It was just screwed in. I got that out without a real problem. If we look at, what is my, oh yeah, I got the battery pack in my pocket, there we go. Now, if we look at these frame rails, they look fantastic. So the front, frame rails are great. The torsion bar on this side is fine. There's nothing wrong with it at all. But, and this is actually interesting, so you can see this hole right here. This is actually where they spot welded, and right around here is where the weld was. There's another one. I thought that might have been one, but it doesn't look like it. There's another one right there. So these are just not pop rated, but spot welded into place. So if we just patch a section of it, it'll be perfectly fine. But if we want to replace the whole thing, I guess we're going to have to see what it's like after we pull the top, this whole part of the floor pan. So we're going to pretty much take it right to where it meets up with the firewall. We're going to take this whole section out. This is not what I was hoping to do. It very well may be able to get out with just cutting a section of it like this right here and this right here, but I really feel like we're probably going to try matching the body line right here and just replacing the whole front section. that's pretty much where I'm at. It's not the end of the world, I promise you. You know, that's why they make welders. Now, if we go over here, you can really see just how far gone this torsion bar cross member is. It's just completely gone. And that would be why the car is completely, you know, collapsed on this side. So if we look underneath there, you can see right about here is where the cross member is like almost 100% perfect. So if we want to just patch in a piece like this, they do it all the time. Well, they used to do it all the time. It's not the end of the world. If we want to replace the whole thing, what we would do is, I would say drill out the spot welds here, but there are none. So first we need to track down the same exact one. Then we'll have to remove this one, and all the spot welds that we drill out, we're going to have to just, you know, keep everything organized and measured, so when it goes back together, it's perfectly fine. Now, the front frame rail on this side is in really, really good shape up to right about here, and then it's just more, looks like it just failed because of this just falling apart. So not a huge issue. It's solid. It's solid all the way back to where it meets up with the torsion bar cross member. So we're all set. With the frame rail, we just have to repair this floor pan, repair either from here over, or replace the entire length of the cross member, which if I can find a complete one, we might do that. I did see one on eBay, but I thought, hey, I see a brand new one. Why don't we just buy that one? So unfortunately, the one on eBay is already gone. But, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes you win with Rock Auto, and sometimes you don't. Let's see. Oh, so while we're waiting for floor pans and cross members and stuff, the other thing we need to tackle is this roof. Now, the original way that this was put together, you can see the Bondo right here. It's just disintegrating. We're going to have to wire brush this out, get this nice and clean, put a layer of primer over it, skim it a couple times so that we have a nice layer of the old mud over it. And once we get it, you know, smoothed out, we are going to do something completely crazy, but I really like the attitude. Someone said to just spray it with bed liner because you'd get the texture and stuff like that. I'm like, what the hell? Why not? So I picked up some Duplicolor Advance Auto truck bed liner. It's like, what the heck? So we'll fix this so it doesn't look totally atrocious, and then we'll put some bed liner on it, which I think is, I mean, heck, why not? It'll be interesting. We'll have to take the front trim off so that I can, you know, go through all of this as well. So yeah, it's the good, the bad, and the ugly. Really, it's not too terrible. I've dealt with a lot worse. I'm dealing with a lot worse. But this is still a lot more in the realm of a possibility than just how far gone that car was. But anyways, guys, it's the tax of living in the Northeast, or actually the whole Rust Belt. So, and it's fun. Someday we'll tackle this thing. This thing has like no rust, just needs paint, and has a few dents, little dings and stuff. But anyways, guys, thank you for hanging out with me today. Now you kind of know what I've been doing. This was a heck of a deal today. It was rough. I have a little, I'll have to show you just the sheer amount of, what are they called? Silverfish. This thing was completely infested with silverfish. Here's something interesting. So, see those bugs right there? Something I never would even imagine seeing inside of a car. These are silverfish. They feed on basically the glue and stuff inside of books and whatnot. So it makes sense that they're hanging out on this book. Oh, geez, look at that. Look at, there's millions of them. Tiny little ones too. They're everywhere. So yeah, silverfish are like, they won't bite you, but they feed on carpet glue too. So that would explain why they're thriving. This carpet is just nasty, guys. You don't want to bring them inside your house. Cause all kinds of problems. So we'll go ahead and finish cleaning this out, and I'll be right back with you guys. So yeah, it was pretty rough. But I got them all vacuumed up. You know, trash days today. That's completely full. This is the second time I've filled one of these things up out of just this car. But it's clean now. Now it's just a matter of getting wheels for it, or I have wheels. I have to get tires for it, get it up off the ground, and start sorting out the floor pans, cross member. That's it. I'm sure I've repeated myself a couple times in this video. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go inside and take a shower. It was bad, but it wasn't as bad as that car. That car was full of mold and stuff, but this right here was more just like something was living in there that had some huge droppings. It was gross. Gross. So yeah, that's where we stand. It's still, I'm still saying we're in pretty good shape. It's just a matter of fixing some floor pans and a cross member. I've repeated myself a couple times. I'm sorry. You have yourselves a wonderful night. I'm sorry this wasn't full of crazy action pack, you know, content, but it's just really showing you where we're standing. But I'm gonna get that ozone machine going. And you have yourselves a wonderful night. Take care, and God bless.